Hi guys, I'm Nick the Bricklord on YouTube and Instagram, and this is my Coruscant build. So this mock was mainly inspired by the canceled show or canceled video game 1313, as well as some of the scenes that you see throughout the Clone Wars. So this is the shaft that you have ships flying down into the lower levels of Coruscant, which is something I'm going to be adding to this mock in the future. Different sections that's going to be expanding to like a very large Coruscant builds in the future.
Yeah, this is already massive. So do you know the size of this or piece count on this build?
So this particular section is somewhere between 30 and 40,000 parts. Okay. So I know the structure itself is just 10,000 parts. I modeled that in Bricklink Studio before I built it to get an idea. It has over 6,000 2x6 brick in the back structure that holds up the walls. So it's pretty intense.
Yeah. So take us through kind of the detailing on this wall, because it's not just a big gray wall. You've got lots of kind of variations of elements.
Yes, so that's definitely what took the most time. I think I put about 120 hours in just doing the details of every single column. I think there are 25 columns here. So I built each column individually. There are a lot of headlight bricks stuck in there. I think there are over 1,000 headlight bricks in every single direction. There are bricks and studs going every single direction. One of my favorite greebles is in the top left corner, where I have minifigure shovels shoved into the wall to kind of emulate just a bit of a vent there in the wall. And there are a lot of other fun things like that. I like mixing in areas of old dark gray with dark orange to kind of just show some rust and some leaking on the wall, because it is a very degraded and rusted out section of city that has definitely just kind of been left to its own devices over the years.
So you mentioned the different columns there. So how does this kind of break down in terms of moving this around and bringing it to show?
Yeah, so it breaks down in 7 different sections that I shift into boxes and just kind of pray and hope that it doesn't break along the way. And then they're all connected to each other in the back via just hinge bricks, and it holds itself up because it's kind of the semicircular shape. So when I first put it up, I usually have to have someone hold the first section to make sure it doesn't fall. I've had a couple of accidents, and it's very unfortunate when you're at a show and have a mock this large break.
And what are some of the details on the platforms here?
Yeah, so the platforms were the last thing I did. I had a lot of fun with them, just kind of making them a little bit cleaner than the rest of the build. I think definitely the thing that pulls it together is those lights that kind of just center out the different landing bays. The landing bay on the right there is based off of a landing bay from the Clone Wars show that you see Fives land at, where he's trying to run away from the Emperor. So that's kind of what it was based on. Again, those platforms have studs going in every direction to try to match the look that I was going for.
How did you decide to build this particular kind of scenery in this section of the Star Wars universe at such a large scale?
I just love the planet Coruscant. I'm a civil engineer, and I do urban planning and transportation. So I love cities, and I love Coruscant as a city. So I wanted to do a really, really large-scale Coruscant with basically all the scenes from the main movies and shows. So like I said, this is kind of the start of that mock. I wanted to start with the Underworld because of the kind of fun lighting you got going on, the cool just different street levels that you see throughout the city. It was one of my favorite parts, so I thought I'd start there to get it going.
Yeah. And it's certainly very impressive, so it'll be amazing to see what you add to this in the future. How big do you anticipate the whole project getting?
It's going to be ridiculously large. I won't share my full plan, but just the Underworld section that I'm working on is going to be 3 times the size of this.
Wow.
So I have a lot of work ahead of me.
Can't wait to see that in the future, though. Thank you so much.
Thank you.